Alright, so here's a video I've been wanting to make for a while about one of my favorite albums. I spent some time typing up a script for this, and I took a while on it, so I hope you enjoy. So this is about Shadowdog by Tires, and why it is one of my favorite albums, like top 5 favorite albums. So I have to say some few trigger warnings. This video discusses many highly not safe for work context slash references. Drugs and addiction are mentioned here and there, mental health stuff, and talk of events that can cause trauma, like stuff with children and whatnot. This video is rated 18 plus, and I would prefer if the audience was 18 plus when viewing this. Thank you. I will have to use some coded words here and there, like for YouTube's sake. Sorry for the kindergartification of this video. So let's start off with the video. Um, so Shadow Dog is an album by Tires, who is also now known as Friends and with the ampersand instead of and. Released November 20th, 2015. Allegedly, the project took 4 years to complete and wasn't on Bandcamp for very long before being deleted. It has amassed a very small cult-like following for almost 10 years now, and this is the only album under the Tires alias. However, Friends and is making music under that alias, just mostly singles. The recent single he made was collabs with my friend Lindsay called Made Me Think of You. It's a very good song. I would really recommend listening to it. I'm obsessed with it. So I first listened to Shadow Dog in mid 2023 upon a friend's recommendation who said it was like Graham Cartner, and that's the best way to get my attention. Just say, hey, this album sounds like Graham Cartner. I will listen to it immediately. I will drop everything and listen to it. Its genres on Rate Your Music are described as glitch pop, hypnagogic pop, and experimental, among indie-tronica and stuff like that. And the tags used for it are dense, sexual, cryptic, chaotic, noisy, concept album, surreal. I'm not reading this whole list, but psychedelic, internet, longing, summer, bittersweet, manic, suburban, stream of consciousness, love, and lush. And I took that from Rate Your Music. And I really love how it's described as summer, as I usually get more into this album during summers, and it's extremely beautiful. Longing is like documented within the album, and it's very maniacally bittersweet. And I could tell it has pure passion and obsession woven into it. One listen is all it takes to realize that. Like I'll explain, the more you listen, the more striking the album becomes. The album art is a fantastic piece of art also. Its composition is extremely intertwined with how the piece portrays itself. The tropical summer vibe theme with the seemingly limited palette of colors looks gorgeous also, and it really almost feels like you can be there while listening. I don't know if the album cover is painted or if it's an edited photo, but either way it's really stunning. um, I also saw someone on Rate Your Music call this digital mania in the reviews, which resonates with me deeply. It's a very internet oriented album. Very, very psychedelic also. I tend to not use psychedelics nowadays, but if I had to take one again, if I absolutely had to, I would 100% listen to this during it. I have listened to it while stoned out of my gourd countless times, especially the songs Valerian Tea and Hide and Seek. These titles are very long, so I will not be saying their full titles, but like when if I just offhandedly mention them, when I do get into analyzing each song, I will say the full titles. But yeah, I always love chronic onlineness themed media, whether it's like web comics like What Happens Next, or shows like Watamode from the anime and such. So that being a focal point of the album is very pleasant to me. This album tackles the chronic online subject with the complete opposite of grace, but makes it gorgeous to listen to and decipher anyways. The story told within the album seems rare and uncommon. When in this day and age, it is very much common. I think I talked about this more a little bit later on. So my review on Rate Your Music I wrote for this album when I was living in Arizona with my ex last year. I said, and I quote, Shadow Dog is groundbreaking, Shadow Dog is niche, Shadow Dog is unconventional in a chilling, glorious way. The name title seemed like jargon until you piece together the lyrics like a puzzle, in which the lyrics hit close to home for the Disturbed, among of which me being at the top. Shadow Dog got me through when I thought my boyfriend's dad was going to kick me out of his house and make me move back in with my parents over work mishap. Shadowdog was my long distance lover, and Shadowdog accompanied me on the plane flights to see my boyfriend when we were long distance. Shadowdog practically broke my mind the first time I listened to it. I love you like a lover loves their partner across the world. And another review I wrote when I first listened to it in the comments on the album stream on YouTube was like a sickening and glowing twist and cauldron brewing of car seat headrests, Graham Cartner, talk show boy and horniness, terminal onlineness and libido. I love you, which is way more accurate to me than my old review, honestly. I relate to this album a fuck ton in the way that I've halfway been through what the singer's describing. I don't date the guy anymore, and I'm starting to see the true meaning of the album because I always just associate with being long distance and in love, but no, there's like a lot more to this album than that. And I'm starting to finally see it that way. Um, why it's like car seat headrest. The lyrical meanings of love within each song, if you look under it with a microscope. However, this album is, if you look deep enough, more twisted than car seat headrest. Plus, I can't really compare it to car seat headrest. I've only listened to like both versions of Twin Fantasy, so, and why is like Graham Cartner, the elaborate sampling and melodies and maximalism energies within each song are like, there's like a few songs that literally sound like they were ripped from Graham Cartner. I go into this later on, I think. And why it's like Talk Show Boy, the pure fucked up libido these songs emit, even though it's like way darker than how Adrian writes his lyrics regarding libido and horniness. Um, I used to listen to Hiding Seek at Family Reunion / Drowning After Sand Burial / A Vacation and Valerian T / Underage on Message Board / Mom Tags Herself Viewing Me in Ultrasound / A Vacation Apart constantly. I listened to these two songs a lot, especially right before I was about to see my ex F again, when like whether he flew over and the rare chance I flew to his state. But very, very recently realized how good New Suburb Before Streetlights / Post Millennium / Post Mom Move is, and I've been looping that. I also like Unclogging Roof Drain on her / Bare Rests and After Sex Under Parents. I will explain each song from the album to the best of my ability and rehash some stuff Rate Your Music reviewers said with ample crediting along with what I associate with each song. The music is fucking crazy. I cannot wrap my head around how each song was produced. Every time I listen, no matter how many listens it's been, I still manage to find a new instrument in a song or what have you. It is literally a technicolor kaleidoscope of crushed beats and bops. The lyrics are very intricate and borderline metaphorical jargon poetry at first glance. The way with this album I found was that the more you listen, the more you unlock. Like when you do a psychedelic drug once and feel like you haven't reached the bottom of the rabbit hole yet. So you resolve to try again soonish with said drug/drug class to become closer to the goal of the rabbit hole bottom. The more attention you pay, the clearer it becomes. The album, at its core, is about online hooking up / hypersexuality, most likely formed / applied due to trauma, early / mid 2000s, 2010s internet and message boards, coming of age, family events / living with family and running away, and bad relationships with implied talks of revenge corn told in a first person perspective. The story is entirely fictional, from what I can gather, but I do believe there is a lot of like real life inspiration from Tires regarding this. Um, a review I read goes, but the longer the album goes on, the more it becomes clear that our main character's brain is fried from growing up online with easy and instantaneous access to the world, to the worst possible things available. Sexual innuendos bleed into how they process the real world. Life around them becomes an obstacle in the way of them being able to get off, and the most horrifying experiences dance on the edges of their consciousness, casually dropping lines that I can't quote in this review because in and out of context are just traumatic in itself, by Red Sun Reviews on Rate Your Music. This album deals with topics that many do not feel brave enough / comfortable with approaching, and proceeds to drown the lyrics discussing these under numerous layers in the warm summer pool of the instrumentals. The music is stylized in such a maximalist way that it's choppy, unstable, and positively overflowing with a new piece of tone every note. Another review I read was, this album sounds like you're in a submarine in a sea of LSD, switching radio stations rapidly because you can't make up your mind. From Ghost Girl and Rate Your Musics. I will discuss each song and attempt to analyze them in depth. Yay, I spent so long on this part. So, first song, After Sex Under Parents. Literally within the first 10 words of the song starting, he mentions a sexual activity that's kind of crazy for being within the first 30 seconds of the first song of the album, but once you get past that, it's super good. From what I can gather, it's a song about having sex at your parents' house, and then a guest arrives, so you have to stop and redress, wait for them with the household, and get told to leave due to evidence of having sex slash at least being intimate in some capacity. Like talk of going to the car to get away or leave in some capacity. Park car runs repeated is the line repeated in the lyrics. The instrumental opening to the album is a crazy rush of warm summer air and a sun rising on the urban sprawl of a city. Smells like honeydew in a weird way. So yeah, the repeated sampling and eccentric out of place instruments are like stepping into a dark box with mirrors to make up every wall and shining a light within the box mirror. And this is a bit TMI, but this song heavily reminds me of living in my parents' basement. I do live in my parents' basement, but it's a nice basement. It's not like a what you'd think a Chronicle Mind person in their 30s would do, and I don't care about that either way. But when my ex would visit, I in the basement, like connect the dots. All right, next song. I do not want to say this track name, but I guess I gotta. Okay, so song two, minutes in and chill meme slash slash mature butthole prolapses inside out slash slash my basement scene number one. This song is really sexual, so you can skip this part if you really want. Presumably to be about at your parents' house dog sitting while you hook up with someone, or maybe even record a corno in your basement. Like the lyric, it started with ad libs. Quote: "We dog sit on mom dog watch night. Mom gone slash mumblecore ad libs rouse. We pet. I type roadhead come. Dogs runs and sleep." Then turned into being and then turned into going onto a Russian corn site and searching for a very specific act. Continues being graphic in the last half of the song. Then turns into being in a car and having sex slash hookup in the car, preceded by the singer's point of view. Instrumentals remind me of stepping down with heavy shoes on and has a very rumbling feeling to it. I don't have many associations or memories of this one. It's not honestly not my favorite song from the album, lyrics and title aside. I do like the instrumentals a bit more than some of the other songs, but it's also not my all-time fave. Song 3, breaking apart baby monitor slash potential recording device slash slash my basement scene number 2. Very heavily implied to be about having sex on a live stream, perhaps a campsite of sorts, also to be implied about having a baby monitor in the protagonist's room for whatever reason and taking it apart to have sex so the parent slash family doesn't find out, maybe due to paranoia or some sort of condition. Hiding the remains of the baby monitor in the protagonist's laundry. Quote: "We riff, record, parts in plush nude. We hide, record. Mains from parents in clean laundry, in clean laundry, in clean laundry, and in clean laundry." Repeated over and over. A bit chiller than the rest of the album, the instrumentals don't flood that easily and has a good transition to the next song near the end. But the instrumentals do feel very textured and layered. I don't have many associations or memories with the song, but my friend Lindsay loves this song the most from the album, so shout out to her. Song 4, unclogging roof drain on her slash slash bare rests. Likely about hooking up with someone and sleeping in the same bed, then quite literally having your gutter slash roof drain clogged with leaves and have to clear it out while she's still at your house, even in bed maybe. Even in bed maybe. Like the lyrics, rain overflows goop on car, I dig leaves out of flood eaves. Being intertwined during intercourse before having to unclog the gutter, bare rest mesh flesh, like feeling like you're melting into someone during sex. Also implied the bed is, quote, covered during sex, and I quote, sweat, slick, slip sheets. The instrumentals jump up and down and feel like feet stomping. I like the instrumentals for this track a lot. Feels very yellow to me due to synesthesia. Not many associations with this track, but I night court it once. 5. Valerian T slash slash underage on message board slash slash mom tags herself viewing me in ultrasound slash slash a vacation apart. The title is a bit, but just ignore it. It's weird as hell. One of my favorite songs from this album. I love this song. The repeated line of my love over and over as a sort of chorus used to make me tear up. I love the part at a minute and 25 seconds in where the tempo and instruments change over. It sounds almost like a wind instrument, like a saxophone. I'm not the best at all this shit, so I'm sorry. I like to pretend the song is about meeting someone from the internet, likely from a message board for the first time IRL, specifically someone you are attracted to slash dating, due to the lines, I quote, my love departs, time spare, I spring clean, I unbox origami, her lips stain. a vacation apart, and I relate to this because I used to go on vacations with my family while wishing my long distance boyfriend or friends could tag along. Like, I get it, I do. There's also the second half of the song where it says, "My love lifts off," reminds me of flying to meet an internet person. Bookmark link rots. Search finds template form archive signature blocks. The quote underage on message board in the title makes sense to the lyrics. Info dates are birth's earliest, steam warps folds, PM secure nudes, and meetup details. Reference to the family theme of this album with mom publics pics in next tab. She waits near ultrasound monitor, implying the singer is arranging for hookup while viewing his mom's social media's posts. I used to listen to this a ton while dating my ex, and I'd listen on loop whenever he was going to visit me or I'd fly to him due to the "My Love" continuous line. Now, I don't think it was very good to associate with that, but yeah, it's really good to listen to while stoned, also, just saying. Okay, 6. Hiding seek at family reunion slash drowning after Sam burial slash a vacation. Instrumentals to the song sound like being in a technicolor dripping demented carousel at the amusement park in the best way possible. You almost feel as if you're being whirled around. About being on vacation with your partner as well as your family at like a beach house or similar. First playing hide and go seek with his hookup slash partner and his cousins, having drinks with the parents, then going to a room to have sex. They can hear his mom looking for a way down the household, and his room was along the path, so they get nervous, but then nothing a no happens? I guess. That's what I'm assuming. Then going to the beach to swim in her, pretending to be drowning in the sand after being buried in sand. Quote, current floats and 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 whelms her towards me, tides ease over. This one was a massive favorite for me also. I used to listen to this on loop before visits with my ex and while high as well. Hiding Seek had a demo under the Bandcamp page, Tires, which was plainly called Hiding Seek. More lo-fi and indie than shadowdog. I thought the demo was okay, but I preferred this version more, honestly. 7. Song 7. Breastfeeding home movie slash head indent ceiling again slash fifth mom birthday lyrics. Instrumentals feel like a jazz record gone psychedelic due to the tambourine and seemingly saxophone sampling clips within. Also has like stomping sounds. Vocals are very drowned. About looking at his mother's scrapbook, very likely due to it being her birthday, due to the track's title, starting to drink boxed wine, contacting a hookup, performing oral sex on her in the cellar, believing he can hear the baby monitor through the ceiling, crying maybe, and possibly being ghosted after. Lyrics I don't understand. I quote, "I spill, soak, dry clean wear and embrace her. Her glass rim washes over. Her iris fill smudge wire rim. Text vibrates silent cell dry. I lip nip gurgle. Candles lay in wax puddles. I cry." Ends like a whisper. I don't have much to say about this track either. It's not my favorite, but it's still pretty good. I love the album also. 8. Song 8. Wedding dress rehearsal after bachelor party slash baby shower slash morning nausea. It's much more poppy and energetic than the previous song, and the intro feels like a bright firework going off. Outro is a groovy guitar slash string instrument for a bit. The lyrics feel very more indecipherable than this one, even with Genius.com, so I'm sorry if you get the meanings wrong. About enacting in rehearsal for a wedding, being sat next to a woman in the car on the right there and being showed assumedly ultrasound photos of him as a developing baby, vomiting in a construction zone area due to waking up with a hangover, quote, "Before wedding dress prep, I wake up early, champagne stains bachelor party tea, and having to sprawl maybe to feel okay. Getting rinsed off by an auto sprinkler near the end." I quite enjoy this one, but it's not an all-time favorite for me, but I still like it, you know? Okay. Song 9, carrying topical cream back home, elder elder crossing guard with fast. Very swingy notes like, sounds like they're moving around, like being swung, and a more chill atmosphere than the previous song. Groovy instrumentals becomes more clicky as it goes on. You'll see what I mean if you listen to it. About going to a park. This one makes me hope this is all fictional, like Tyre says, as one of the lyrics is. One of the lyrics is, quote, "Tween girls chaps me up and twirls curls. We lock hands. She scrams ahead. She scrams," which can imply he acted predatorially toward a tween who escaped. Walking from the park and having to cross a road with a disabled stopwatcher. A bit of a shorter, less dense track from this album, and it's not as many lyrics, and it's not my favorite. But when I listen to the album while I'm drawing or high or something, I don't skip any of the tracks usually because it all feels like one long story or song. But yeah, that's just me. Song 10, kissing after late night party / awaiting torrent finish / sharing old haircuts and sights new haircut. It sounds poppy with like a xylophone sounding instrument. The vocals pick it up exponentially. Also, pretty good sounding track. About getting matched with a hookup on an app, meeting at a party, including dropping his phone in the doorway and it cracking because it got closed on it. Being at the party, acting chaste after being with friends, downloading a torrent, likely for Corno, and ejaculating in her eyes in his car while waiting for said torrent to download during their hookup. I never read the lyrics before typing this one out, but yeah, that's crazy. The part at 50 seconds in with the layering of vocals and instrumentals is really good also. It loops pretty well also, and I don't have any strong associations with this one. 11. Mirror upload of ancient condom opening vlog / looking glasses reflecting off each other / my basement scene number 3. It has chiller instrumentals that occasionally pick up tempo / notes wise, possibly about counting down to meet someone, watching vlogs about old condoms opening from her, minimizing the video / film he's watching, searching up for cute stuff, likely exploring her house, and face sitting sex near the end. Very layered in this song. A shorter song also keeps ending as quickly as it started when I was looping it for the analysis of typing it out. Maybe looking at mirrored videos that were re uploaded due to the title, and could be about recording Corno and due to the risk lyrics in the end, plus in regards to exploring the house, plus the title having the My Basement scene added, which I find is more so applied to the Corno recording theme songs in the album. And I don't have any strong associations with this one. Song 12, Pink Eye / far from residential areas with phone and charger and eye drops and no purse and no pockets. Instrumentals heavily remind me of a Jack Stober song in this one, as well as how the vocals play out. Has a shouting vocal similar to Jack Stober's songs. Even shorter than the previous song, about having pink eye, yet having a hookup anyways, not having a charger, but eyeing someone who does outside, applying eye drops in eyes, and wondering how some of these women in public are carrying stuff despite showing skin. Not much else to say about this track, aside from how much I love the instrumentals and how choppy it is, yet still remaining some semblance of melody. 13, Song 13, PVR pregnant teen / before abstract text support schedule / dad turns 50. Instrumentals melt into each other in this too and have a very distinct sound unlike the other songs on the album. Much more psychedelic and slower and not as jumpy melody wise also. About watching TV with a hookup or long distance watching on an app like Skype / Discord or even rab.it from back in the day, who knows. I quote, my eyes shut and call, I disclose I still love her. This plays into what I was just saying. Falling asleep and computer freezing at one point while long distance calling plus watching. I wake, watch, and wait. Pointer still moves, admits freeze. About getting tech support for the broken computer also. Any night, any week. Repeated to show he's down to call anytime. No idea why Dad Turns 50 is in the title, as the family theme isn't prominent, if at all, there in this song. And I like this one a lot. I like when I'm listening to the album and it comes on. It's a really nice song. I like this one. Um, Song 14, sharing one bedroom / hotel bolts down all fixtures other than a clock / a vacation. Poppier instrumental, sounding more like indie-tronica here. Has a sample of what sounds like a woman talking, very high pitched, which I like a lot. About going on vacation with his father. Quote, Dad and I jaywalk by old buildings. We look new, then drive or swerve. And also, quote, sunblock, crust sparse, split ends, plus sunburn, bald spot, flesh peels. About wearing sunscreen to the beach, plus his dad getting burnt on his head. Lost in the city, then finding the hotel. Quote, as we seek charge, hotel finds us, having to sleep in the same bed as his dad, who's almost nude while texting his current internet lover, which is weird. He rolls, end quote, he rolls around restless near nude. Throwing a clock out of the window. I toss clock out open window, other fixtures bolt down. No idea what this could mean other than maybe like going crazy or some shit. Repeated line of dad's skin strips and sags off near the end, which could imply the awkwardness of being with his 50-year-old dad on a vacation. I like this one a lot too. The instrumentals are happier than some of the other instrumentals. It's a decent song. Song 15, mommy / I text while driving, communications between parents. The instrumentals seem to twist and intertwine with each other and might be reversing temporarily in some places, and it's very melty also. Not as short as the previous few songs. About being outside with his mom and maybe dad, also meeting a dog, possibly stray, and petting / playing with it, going back inside and setting off the door alarm or whatever, then taking a shower and throwing away his shirt and using his father's dandruff shampoo, then masturbating, likely to a text / message from an internet girl. The title is symbolic as it has mommy repeated. This song seems like a I love my mom song if you look deeper than the lyrics while ignoring the end where he masturbates in the shower. Could be about being a middleman for his mother's and father's communications. And I love the instrumentals in this one. One of the top 10 Shadow Dog songs for me. This one's pretty good. Song 16, Girl Next Door, Breakup Nudes, / international date site, / my basement scene number 4. This one is really, really weird. It's kind of triggering, so feel free to skip. I do have to say a certain type of words instead of like the original because of whatever, but so the instrumentals feel like chains and barbed wire, and it has jingly instrumentals. However, the vocals are super layered, but the song seemingly is about saving an ex's nudes, looking at porn online, particularly of MILFs, being on a long distance dating site, and looking at cheese pizza as a child, also being at a possibly family's wedding. And I didn't know the lyrics were talking about this, but it's really jarring. I froze when I was analyzing this one for the video. The part about looking at cheese pizza as a child comes after this lyric. My quote: "My profile slides on wedding pick tile roads. I pose with suit and child." I'm sorry, I cannot talk. So it can imply he's having OCD about the child he's standing next to / reminded of what he saw as a kid. And this one is really fucked up. I can't deny it. So song 17. I'm sorry, I keep saying everything wrong. Song 17, Shedding Fur Lit by DVD Home Menu Snow / my basement scene number 5. Instrumentals are heavily Graham Cartner-esque in this one in regards to the melody and how they're implemented. The instrumentals for this one are really good. Starts off strong, then gradually stops being as maximalist as the song goes on. It's really hard to tell what this one is about, but it could be about being in his unfinished basement, watching a movie, and it's very dusty and musty. Then his family's old dog comes downstairs, and he doesn't pet him, but just watches him. The dog's first sheds and gets stuck in the vents. I like how the instrumentals sound a lot, but I don't have any striking memories of this one. Okay, next one I really like. Okay, song 18, New Suburb Before Streetlights / post millennium / post mom move. This one grew very heavily on me recently. I love this one, and I night court it as you saw on my channel. Um, I've been looping it since my friend C visited me. Cause I don't know, it just reminds me of him. Instrumentals are very good, very well very polished and refined in such a way that's catchy to me. I'll be at work and be like, damn, I'm having New Suburb Before Streetlights withdrawals. The way it feels like the instrumentals are swimming and diving feels cool also. And it could be about his mom moving away / meeting someone new and leaving. Then he goes biking, possibly taking pictures or just exploring. I love the start where it goes star, 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 star sampled in it. And it really struck me as something awesome. And the lyric that's repeated near the end, between me and light, goes hard as fuck. I really love this song. I made a candy bracelet inspired by it. Yeah, and it feels more poppy than some of the others. Song 19, Holiday in House with Kids / pre-millennium / pre-mom move / not summer. Very choppy instrumentals that bleed into each other. The lyrics are much more clear to listen and understand in this one. The lyrics seem to be telling a story of it being winter / Christmas at his family house due to the not summer in the title, but also quote, I led sled home, my breath clouds rose / along dug path sides, eye level snow towered, sledding with kids in the winter. Quote, before opening, they taped me and soon put down old dog, about being recorded opening gifts during like Christmas or something, but then also at some point they put the family dog down, could be the one from the 17th song. By quote, by fireplace we detach parts of tree, we detach parts of tree, won't go on repeated, about the holidays being over, especially when the line repeats. And this one is really nice. I like the lyrics for it too. Song 20, we're getting near the end here. Persona request thread / home phoning cell before deleting first nudes / my basement scene number 6. The instrumentals are very pop music oriented, about being on the phone, looking at pictures of his ex, possibly even re-uploading underage nudes of her, possibly for Persona art. Quote in thread, I post her underage tit pics, high res reply cartoons, her personal parts, fur coats, firm breasts. But then it has a redemption arc with the final lyrics about after charging his phone being the repeated phrase of I finally delete her nudes, showing he's over his ex and ready to move on, possibly deleting the thread images too. Also about being a furry and getting artist said Persona, there is a very heavy furry vibe to this album, but it's not very visible. You have to really look deep into it to get it. But like, yeah, this one is harrowing to me, if that makes sense. It's really like, oh my god, it's really empty. Not in like a bad way, more like a oh my god, he did that way. And the last song, Pollen Like Snow slash slash Not Summer. The instrumentals are very layered but slower and smoother, about walking a dog and being outside and realizing he changed over the summer or the past year, possibly. The end of the lyrics hit really, really hard. It shows how much the protagonist of the album has changed and how he feels. Quote, I am present, young, and I love someone. I love something. I love someone. I love someone. I love something. And I love this song so much. It's such a beautiful album closer. It's gorgeous. So I feel like the whole album takes place over a summer or a course of a year. Summer is the focal point of it, and it's just about hooking up in the summer and shit, you know. So in closing, this album is really harrowing. Like I said, it broke my brain the very first time I listened to it. I immediately became obsessed with it, but recently it's been more of an obsession for me, and it's really relatable to those it strikes relatability to, and it comforts the disturbed and disturb the comfort. It's ordeal. You rip off the blindfolded, and this album shows you what cannot be unseen. And it's about hypersexuality, which nobody likes to talk about, but it's something a lot of people, including me, struggle with. And the samples are borderline unrecognizable, but still awesome. So that's about it for my analysis of Shadow Dog. I really love this album. Like I said, like 20 times in this, but I'm really glad it exists, and I hope a physical gets made of it sometime eventually. It's turning 10 years old this year, November 20th, 2025. Yeah, it turns 10 that time. It's made in 2015. But yeah, thanks for watching and have a nice day.